Okay, so I was at Fostoria Junior High, and um, this is just an overview of a lesson that I taught there that I really enjoyed teaching, and I think the students really liked it too. So I'm just going to kind of explain what I did for it. So um, the project was called Cotton Candy Water, and it was in the unit of graphic design. So I was teaching students all about graphic design, which is a lot of logos and labels and just the packaging, especially for products at stores. So for the cotton candy water, I just went to Walmart and knew I needed some sort of product to have students try and redesign a new label for it is what I was going to do. So I saw this cotton candy water. It's just a bottle that big, um, and it was cotton candy sparkling water, so it's just flavored like cotton candy. But these are just some of the reasons why I liked it, and I'm going to go into more of it. But this is just some of the key points: is that it was very interactive, critical thinking, it was vocabulary based. A lot of it had to do with getting the new strategies that graphic designers use. Digital tools was used, obviously, and students were highly engaged in it the whole time. So the overview. So this is what the cotton candy bottle actually looked like, and the label here is what I was having them redesign because I think it's kind of ugly, kind of plain, and they definitely could make it look a lot more aesthetic. And so that was the whole point. Was I went in and I spent the whole time I just pretended that I was almost like in Shark Tank or something. I was pitching them this cotton candy water. So I acted as if I had made it. A lot of the students believed me that I did make it over the weekend. And I told them that I was selling it at Walmart, but it just wasn't successful and there wasn't anybody buying it. And I think that's because the label's ugly, and so I need them to redesign it. And so that was what they were tasked with, was just coming up with their own design for this label. And then like a real graphic designer would, they have to tell me, walk me through the steps about why I should choose theirs. And we have to then pick the best one because graphic design is really competitive. So we have to choose the best design then of the class, and that class would be, and the winner then would get their new design printed on one of these bottles. I told them that would be the prize. And so they use Adobe Spark, which is a real life graphic design software that a lot of graphic designers use. It's really good quality. And what's awesome is that Fostoria schools had access to it. They just had to use their school email. They could log in. They didn't have to download anything. And they had all of the benefits of that website. So that's what they used to design their logos. And yeah, it had you could add text, photos, all this awesome features in it. So I really enjoyed using that. And so another big part of the lesson was vocabulary and using mind mapping. So I really would recommend using this. It can definitely be modified to fit other subjects, but in art I used it. So we have the words cotton candy, sparkling water up on the board. And then because I wanted students to get more of a visual than just the basic, like what you immediately think of, I wanted to think a little bit more about some sort of visuals that could go along with this and what they could include on their label. We did this mind mapping, so they just were to think of as many words as they could that they associate with each of these words. So we started with cotton candy, and what sort of things do you see when you think of cotton candy? And they had circus and fair and kids and soft and fluffy and clouds and pink and blue. And so I just kind of keep pushing them farther, oh, so with circus, what kind of things do you see at the circus? Or what smells? What does it feel like? What is it physically come in? How do you make it? And so then they're just shouting out answers and coming up with all this stuff, and it's really fun and interactive. And I do that again for sparkling and water. And then I have them, if they did this on their paper too, which they didn't have to, but if they followed along, then I have them circle some their favorite words. And so it was super successful, and it had a great turn-in rate, high quality work. These were the winners that we picked for each class. And so I printed off their labels. And so since they were voting in class, everybody got theirs turned in, which is a huge feat. And they just turn them in on Google Classroom, so they know how to do it and everything. And Adobe Spark allows you to publish it straight to Google Classroom. And so the students also enjoyed it.